Come on. I'm here. Come on. Listen. This song just says, hey, come on in the room, fam. Come on in the room, fam. Absolutely. Hey, how y'all doing, fam? What's up, Kayon? Lampley, how are you? How y'all doing? If you come in the room, just say what's up. I would love to hear you. Hear you. Hear how you doing today. Hey, we're getting into our metaphysical Bible study. We're going to be looking at a couple of different books today as we are on our metaphysical Bible study journey. Just sharing information, fam. I hope you are doing fairly well. Come on in the room. Hey. Get it? If you're new here, let me know where you're tuning in from. So we're gonna be looking at astrology of the moon, and I'm going to kind of just share what I was reading with last night. But come on in the room. Hey. Hey. Get it? Grand Rising, Jasmine A. Get it? Get it? You can try again. I hope you guys are doing really, really well today. Hey, what's up, Tanara, Kenneth, Broadu? Hey. Do me a favor, fam. Like and share this live. Are you serious? Are you serious? Are you serious? God, you got me all cheesing and stuff. I love it. Alright, fam. We're getting ready to get into this live in about 60 seconds. We're going to be going over metaphysical Bible study. We are looking at the moon. I'm going to probably do a recap of what we were talking about yesterday. Just real quick. Hey, thank you for the 210 likes, fam. Thank you for sharing this live. You share and your like is how you can contribute to this space. Hey, Chrissy. I appreciate each and every one of you. Let's get it. All right. So if you're new here for the first time, please let me know where you're tuning in from. Please let me know where you're tuning in from so I can greet you with love. Hey, come on. Gaming Thumbs, 440 likes. Aaliyah, yes. We're listening to Aaliyah, yes. I was like, Aaliyah. It's like, that's not your name. But yes, we're listening to Aaliyah. It's like, your name is Jasmine A. Not Aaliyah. Okay, yes. I'm connecting the dots. Okay? Welcome everybody to our Metaphysical Bible Study. This is the place where we have conversation. We are having conversation around the moon. Yesterday, I just gave you guys the download that I was having after my conversation with Spirit and God, and so it was good stuff. We talked about just the scripture reference of "You are the light of the world," and with that information, kind of went deeper into okay, God saying you're the light of the world, but then in Genesis, He talks about there being two lights. So if you're born in the day, you will see the sun. You would say you go outside. Oh, I'm a light of the world. But then in the nighttime, you have the moon. So understanding that you are your sun and your moon sign. Thank you, Harold, for the rose. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. So and then you was born at night. That's what's up. That's what's up. I was looking at reading listening to not reading listening to a podcast, and they were saying that sometimes you can see that when you're born at night, you're gravitated towards night, like your moon sign has such power. And then that's what we was talking about too, metaphysically. When you look at Genesis, thank you. I appreciate you for the 12 dozen. I appreciate you. Got me blushing and stuff. You love the stars? Listen. This astrology stuff is stuff. This science of astrology and how things are just how they come together. OMG. OMG, it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. It's more to me how I am learning and discovering myself and being okay with who I am. Like I'm evolving, yes, but there's parts of me that I shunned because I didn't know it was okay to be me in this way. Okay? So, real quick, just to go back through when we talk about metaphysically the Bible looking at the two lights, I am a Pisces moon. Yes, absolutely. And it was some good information. I was looking at Pisces moon. We looked at the two lights, greater and the lesser, and then I was sharing with everyone how the two lights both had dominion. OMG. Both had dominion. One over the day, which is what they would say is your ego. Uh Text that to me, Harold. Text it to me. The four classical liberal arts of number, geometry, music. Come on. Mine is January 27th. But Harold, please check because once the chat closes, it's going to be closed, and I'm not going to remember. So I appreciate you. But we have the greater and the lesser. They both have rulership. Both have rulership. One over the outer, one over the inner. And then I was just talking about the dominion. The Thank you, Harold. The dominion. Both have dominion in a particular area, which means both have power. And when you look at some Bibles, it talks to the word. It says govern, and the govern means control, influence, or regulate. Right. So when you look at the sun, it's pertaining to our ego, right? And our ego has a certain power over how we move, right? Because it's attached to our senses, our outwardly senses. But then you have our moon, which is attached to our heart, which rules how we emote, how we go about tapping in our intuition. Okay, and then I wrote, oftentimes we deal with what is seen versus not. Oh, thank you. Will do. Thank you. You too. Oftentimes we deal with what is seen versus what is not seen. And I was sharing even this morning, and I saw blacks coming around. Hey, blacks. I was talking this morning how when I was reading the podcast or listening to the podcast, come on, because you listen to podcasts. When I was listening to the podcast just yesterday, thank you, fam, for getting us to 10,000 likes. When I was listening to the podcast yesterday, was talking about 100 years ago, people would have knew their moon sign, but because of the promotion of the sun sign in newspapers and media, people have gravitated towards understanding their sun sign and not really having the awareness that you encompass your sun and your moon, right? And I would even venture to say that knowing your rising sign is also key as well, because your rising sign is what people are getting at first experience of you. All right. So if you don't know these things, I'm encouraging you. Get out of here. You should do it. Don't let me stop you. Don't let me stop you from doing your lives. Like really, I want you. It's enough for all of us. It really is. It really is, right? And so in this space, to know your rising, to know your moon, and to know your sun and your moon gives you a glimpse of the entire you. The perception that you're giving to people. All right, J Ball, we're currently not doing readings. So, if you know your rising, you know your sun. If you know if we're split up, should we try to be different? Oh, it's not a reading. What was your question? It came across as a question. If we're split up, should we try to be what? Clarify, clarify, so I can get understanding. My bad. If we split up, should we try to be different? I'm trying to make it connect for me. But understanding your rising sun and your moon, like the rising sign, the moon sign, oh, the sun sign. Okay. Hey, my morning's going great. Like the rising sun, the moon, and the. Okay, yeah. So if you split them up, if you were to split them up, then like you won't get a whole picture of who you are. But when you understand, okay, this is how people are perceiving me, but this is not necessarily what I meant, then you can even change your conversation to assist and support how people are viewing you. Not changing who you are, but sometimes when you're saying something or how you're moving is not coming across. And you make sense to you, but it doesn't make sense to the people that are watching and that are leaning in. And when you have this awareness, you don't become offensive, you become aware so that you can step into your power and move differently. Pluto and your okay, cool. Yeah, all the signs, all the planets are just as important. Mercury, absolutely. This happens to you a lot. Okay, cool. Yes. Oh, okay. I'm glad I tried to read into it. Okay. So yes, understanding how you are being perceived, right, versus how you are, right? Because you could be one way, but if you are not okay, or if you're offended every time somebody's perceiving you a different way, then you will get lost in this space of irritability, if that's a word, and frustration, right? So this is about encompassing the whole picture so you can get a glimpse of your whole self and be able to manage all of it. Libra, Virgo, rising, arrow. And when you look at the Bible metaphysically is a book about you. It's not a dogmatic book. It's been made a dogmatic book, but it's not a dogmatic book. It's a book about personal development. It's a book about manifestation. It's a book about managing self, right? And I was just getting other scriptures about how the two became one. There's another resemblance of masculine and feminine, sun and moon becoming one, because you need both energies to manifest, to create. And when your heart, your moon, is not aligned with your sun, the masculine, how you don't manifest, because you are at war, and that war is within you because things are not in alignment within you. And knowing how to balance this and knowing what to do when things are showing up is key. Okay? So I'm gonna read this, fam. And if you haven't followed, thank you for the follow, thank you for the share. Okay, I want to read what I was reading yesterday, just to add, and I'll probably pull, and then we'll start with Libra. We did the first six yesterday, but I'll start with the other six today, and then I will give you some affirmations like we did yesterday. It'll be the same affirmations, but I want for those that have not seen the affirmation or heard the affirmations to support you. Yeah, love the self. Happy healing to you, Joe Rub. Happy healing to you. How are you today? Have the most amazing day. I'm not sure exactly what brought that energy in. Have the most amazing day. For those that don't know, okay, I don't know why I'm getting distracted. Peace and blessing to you. Let's say a prayer for J Rub. I'm not sure exactly what has hurt you today. What it got my attention for a reason, Spirit. I pray peace, pray peace over you. I'm not sure exactly what transpired that you woke up with violence. I pray for peace and love and joy and hope, and pray that your heart in the place that it is in today will be healed. Pray that it will be healed in the most authentic way. Okay. Pray. So what I'm getting, I wanna. Okay, okay. So it's a respect of self. That's what I'm. That's what it is. So whoever has hurt you, and maybe it's something that you don't agree with, the cash app is just simply, if people want to, they don't have to, because people do ask. Okay, so I don't know who hurt you, but I bid you peace, love, and joy, and it's not necessarily a matter of disrespect for me. It's a matter of disrespect for self. Okay. Okay. So here we go. Let's work. Okay, fam. Let's work. And we're just having conversations around books. Okay, around books. So we speak peace and love, joy, and peace. Okay. All right, here we go. We good, fam? Let's get it. Let's get it. Listen, we are on the verge of something amazing. Come on, we are on the verge of something amazing because we're bringing in books. We're having conversations around books. You don't have to take my word for it. This is information that you can go look at and see if it works for you. Right? If it don't work for you, throw it away. Listen, because I'm here to support, not here to what? Help. Because if I help, then I'm attached to what? The outcome. And I'm so I'm not here. I'm here to support, bring in about conversation, and let it do what it do. Okay. Okay. So here we go. So happy healing to you, Jurub. Amazing conversation. Your life is worth living. All right. Here we go. I'm gonna have to book a moderator soon because the way that this live is expanding, it's amazing. Listen, it's amazing. All right, here we go. So when we're reading from The Key to Your Inner Life, Donna Cunningham. Okay, let's get it. You'll do it, okay, Jasmine A. Let's get it. Moderate. Let's have a conversation on the side, and let's get this in. All right. So this says, even though this book is about the moon, it's really about emotions. Listen, okay. I appreciate my fam showing up, okay? Even though this book is about the moon, it's really about emotions. And most of us could use some insight into this area. Living in a mechanized, high pressure world, we become divorced from our feelings at the cost of much emotional pain and self defeating behavior. Some of us spend a great deal of money on therapists who guide us in exploring our buried emotions and the reasons we keep acting in predictable self-destructive patterns. Not that therapy doesn't help or that this book will replace therapy for those who really need it, but your moon sign can provide valuable insights into less conscious parts of yourself. Okay? Let's see here. Listen, thank y'all, fam. Okay, not that doesn't help, or that this book will replace therapy for those who really need it, but your moon sign can provide valuable insights into less conscious parts of yourself. serving as a guidebook to the dark side of your moon. So even though the book is about astrology, it's really about you and how you deal with these mysterious and ever-changing emotional responses. Okay, J Rub, I'm gonna address this and then we're gonna move on. Okay, can I ask you a question? Can I ask you a question? How are you feeling? That's really not, how are you feeling? And the space that this is going to is, it seems like we're in a space of what is a person's moon sign. Listen, this is what I'm saying, okay? Because we don't. I'm gonna address this for 2 minutes, and we're gonna move on, because this is giving. There's a need for attention, validation. There's a need um, for conversation around someone who's coming in and just reading a book and just have a conversation around the book. And there's an energy that is in here that I'm just trying to be inquisitive, because there's conversations that you're having that you're pulling attention towards you. And so there's a negativity that I want to bring in to see where is it coming from, because of the experience that we've had today. I just met you, and you don't know me from anybody. So I normally wouldn't address this stuff today, but I feel called to. There's an anointing to just have a conversation. Okay, thank y'all for the like, thank y'all for the share. Okay, and so there are people that may put cash apps that may not know what they're talking about. Okay, people are not the same, and I think that's where the healing begins, because people are not the same, and that's where the awareness has to be, or can be. It don't have to be, right? So, because what this reads is there's something that has happened that you dislike, and in disliking it, you have attached it to everything that you experience that looks like it. And this space that we are in, I would offer that, where is this perception coming from? Where is this perception coming from? And how can it be that it's looked at differently for the sake of what you are experiencing? Well, I mean, it's not about you knowing me, it's about you knowing you. And if you know that this irritates you, if you know that if you know that people like me irritate you, the question now becomes, why why irritate yourself? That, I think that's the question that now becomes, why do you irritate yourself? If you know yourself and you know that this is an irritant, why even have a conversation or disrupt? Okay, so I think that's a conversation that we can have offline, because I would love to have a conversation. If you want to have an honest conversation, inbox me. I'll give you my number and we'll have a conversation. Okay. All right, fam. So I love you, and I want to just in case you didn't know, I think it's time to sing our welcome song. How about it, fam? Come on. Here we go, J Rub. This is specifically for you, okay? Just in case you haven't heard it in a while. Come on. And just in case you really need to know. Just in case you haven't heard it in a while. Just in case you really need to know. Oh, I love you back. Hey, I love you. I love you. I love you back. Hey, I love you. I love you. I love you back. Hey, I love you. I love you. I love you back. One more time. One more time. Hey, just in case you haven't heard it in a while. And just in case you really need to know. Oh, come on. Just in case you haven't heard it in a while. And just in case you really need to know, oh, I love you back, ayy. I love you, I love you, I love you back, ayy. I love you, I love you, I love you back, ayy. I love you, I love you, I love you back. All right, fam, let's get it. All right, so even though the book, and I want to, even though the book is saying this, I love all y'all. It's nothing but love here, peace and blessings to each and every one that is coming, and we speak love, we speak joy, we speak peace, we speak healing, we speak angels ascending and descending. We speak that everything, everything that you touch will succeed, and so it is. Okay, here we go. All right, fam, we good. All right, and we'll clear it out, and it's already clear. It's already done. Okay. So even though this book is about astrology, it's really about you and how you deal with these mysterious and ever-changing emotional responses. If you take a look at the biggest mistakes of your life, many of them will happen when you're not paying attention to your real feelings and needs. Or worse, when you're trying to override your gut responses and ignore your instincts. Okay? Since all these areas, let me do this, okay? Since all these areas, where did I go? When you're trying to, if you take a look at the biggest mistakes of your life, many of them happen when you're not paying attention to your real feelings and needs. Or worse, when you're trying to override your gut responses and ignore your instincts. Come on, I just want to stop here, and I want to thank God for the confirmation. Listen, I want to thank God for the confirmation, because when you start moving in a certain direction, come on, it'll seem like everything will try to get you out of what you are called to do, and God, universe source creator, will send somebody to make you think that you off track. But all things are lessons that God will have us to learn. Come on, come on, come on. And if this is a word for somebody, that when you know you've been called to something, it don't matter who come in out of the chat, because here is the truth. What they say ain't got nothing to do with you. Oh, come on. I think I'll grab a mic. Whatever you say ain't got really nothing to do with me. Okay, I felt a little oil on that. Listen. Come on. Okay, so understanding this information, fam. When you understand your feelings, you understand how you proceed, you understand all this, okay? You don't have to ignore your instincts. You don't have to ignore any of it, okay? All right, since all these areas, feelings, needs, and instincts and responses are connected with the moon sign, you often make the biggest mistakes of your life when you're ignoring the moon. Oftentimes, when you are ignoring that gut feeling, when you're ignoring your intuition, you end up with experiences that you really didn't prefer. Come on, somebody. And I don't want to call them bad experiences, because even those experiences that we would coin bad, we can learn something from it. We can learn from it. So it could be like, okay, you made a move and something was telling you it don't feel right, but you did it anyway. Now, when you have that unpreferred experience and you release it, and something else comes up, now you know, okay, I had this feeling before. Let me begin to investigate what this feeling is, and now I can move in that. Y'all make sense? All right, here we go. Some people who ignore their own or key moon signs made big mistakes and big headlines. And then this goes into different analogies as to who did what and what they came out with. Okay? But the moon sign, again, can give you divine insight into your personal emotional needs. All right, fam? So, how do we want to proceed, Spirit? Okay, so let's get into our pickup from yesterday when we was talking about I think we left with the Virgo moon. So we're gonna go get into Libra, okay? So if you are Libra, we're going to just talk about the Libra moon, okay? So, and this is about knowing your moon sign, knowing date of birth. You have to know that in order so that you can know where your moon sign is placed, okay? Hey, Sade. Sade, you missed all the entertainment. All the entertainment. All the, I ain't gonna say entertainment. All the, you know what? We ain't gonna give it any energy anymore. It's all good. All right. I think Craig was in the scenes today. I'm having to tell Craig to sit down. I'll let you come out a little bit. Okay? So Craig came out a little bit. Okay? But Craig was tactful today. I will give it to Craig. Craig was very tactful today. Here we go. Libra, for those Libras in the room. Libra is sometimes called the sign of relationship. It's likely true that you feel nurtured when you bounce ideas off another person to get their perspective, as well as having a friend or lover to share experiences with. Listen, I know a friend. I have a friend. And my friend, they be asking me for advice, and then they be telling me, "Well, I asked this person out, and I asked this person," and I used to let that irritate me. I was like, "Why you ask me, and you probably not gonna take my advice, and then you're going to go ask everybody else." But then I found out they was a Libra moon, and I was like, "Oh, this makes sense. This makes sense." So knowing these pieces to people helps you to even respect the relationship more. Respect it in a way that honors this is how they are and this is who I am, and I don't have to change any of that. I can just let it be. This is what Yana Van Zant, I've said her say. People show you how they love, and you get to decide if you can rock with it. All right. Let's see, Libra. Your enjoyment is enhanced when you can tell your partner is always themselves. Somehow, 1 plus 1 equals a lot more than 2. So Libra certainly can be thought of as a sign of relationship, but it's not about being incomplete unless you're someone's girlfriend or boyfriend. It's more about working out the specific dynamics of relating to someone. How do you get along? Where do I end and you begin? When we want different things, who wins? What's fair? Love alone is not enough. This is for the Libra. Sharing ourselves with someone requires negotiation. And it's not just negotiation between people, but between any two sides of something, including an idea. All right, fam? So that's the Libra. Let's get into Scorpio. So Scorpio, natal moon in Scorpio. If Libra injustice is blind and impartial, you are learning to take the blindfolds off and really see what's happening. Listen, this is probably why Scorpio moons are very, very, very intuitive. But it's a water sign, which deals with emotions. You are learning to take the blindfolds off and really see what's happening, even if it's unjust or frightening or ugly. You have a strong instinct to know, but not in the way that the air signs such as Gemini want to know. It's not facts you seek, but the deep down guts of life's truth. In a way, what nurtures you is not just your mother kissing you goodnight, but the monsters under the bed too. Ooh, Scorpio moon. Listen, it's not that you are not afraid of the monsters, but you already sense that they are there. Oh my goodness. And hiding from them like most people do, or pretending they're not there, is no comfort to you. You crave the truth, the depth of the experience, and the wholeness of life, not just the easy parts that lie on the surface. This to me gives why Scorpio moons, how they detect liars and how they don't like lying. Like they would rather they will rather hear the truth, even a little white lie they can probably sense. Oh my goodness. I'm gonna read this one last line. Carl Jung said this: "Those who have not passed through the inferno of their passions have not truly overcome them." Woo! Your heart, Scorpio, is nurtured by passionate experiences, not by avoiding chaos or change, but by going through them and allowing them to push you to the edges of yourself. Woo! Come on, and you could probably use this with your son, but again, we're talking about how this encompasses with with your with your energy with the Scorpio. Ooh, listen, I told you I had a love hate thing with Scorpio, but now that I'm getting into this work, is really this awareness. Okay, you're asking me these questions. You're really not angry. You're just passionate. Sorry, I'm laughing at myself because I have some Scorpio people that I'm thinking about in my head. It's not that you're angry. You're just passionate. Okay, but that's just. Okay, Scorpio. Let's get it. All right, that was Scorpio. Sagittarius. Sagittarius. You have the heart of the explorer. Whether or not you go on physical or mental explorations, come on, Sag, the freedom to experiment and follow wherever your heart wants to go is the source of happiness for you. Being free. Listen, I can see that, even with the arrow in astrology, how, when it flies, you don't know where it's gonna go, but it gotta be free, you know. And I feel like that Sagittarius, because my daughter's a Sagittarius, I feel like having that direction, you lean back and it go out, like having put your energy in it is really key too. The freedom, and the aim. That's what I was giving. The freedom and the aim, Sag. Woo! It's almost like when you get focused, it's like bets. Then chase it. Yes. Come on. I'm not a Sag, but it be the awareness is for me. It be the awareness, okay? You have the heart of the explorer, whether or not you go on physical or mental explorations. And I would say this, like, in order for you to be free in your emotions, you have to be with somebody that will allow you to be free to explore, whether they understand it or not. Okay, I don't know who that was for. Okay, but here we go. You have a heart of explorer, whether or not you go on physical or mental explorations. The freedom to experiment and follow wherever your heart wants to go is a source of happiness for you. You have a natural gift for optimism. You have a natural gift for its optimism and for seeing possibility and potential where some people cannot. While some people may consider optimism to be akin to being naive or foolishness, not only does a feeling of possibility provide joy, it makes you more likely to feel free to risk what you've got for something better. Ooh, to stretch yourself and reach high what others are afraid to. Oh my. I'm gonna read these a few more lines, okay? Sagittarius, you are learning to trust yourself and to trust being alive. To trust that it's not only worth it, but that even disaster can be recovered from and be used as a springboard. Oh my goodness. So let me say that one more time, Sagittarius. You're learning to trust yourself and to trust being alive. To trust that is not only worth it, but that even disaster can be rediscovered from and be used as a springboard. Woo. Listen, one more. You will discover that when you trust your instinct, you usually get it right. Les Brown says, shoot for the moon. If you miss, you'll land amongst the stars. All right, that was good. Come on. All right, Sag, let's get into Capricorn. All the Capricornians. Listen, I might have to write an astrology song. All the turn up. Oh, that's what's up. All right, so for the Capricorn, hey, true passion. Your happiness and sense of well-being increases when you do things that give you a sense of self-respect. Woo. Capricorn, your happiness and sense of well-being increases when you do things that give you a sense of self-respect. This is an astrology of the moon. Yeah, so it's like a moonology book. Okay. Feeling capable is at the core of your happiness, which is sometimes why Capricorn can be focused so much on achievement and ambition. Sometimes Capricorn is called the sign of the manager, which is a reflection of Capricorn's desire and natural ability to well manage. Whew. Listen, I can see this. I can see the Capricorn because I'm looking at the Earth sign. Sorry, I didn't got. My mind just went. So you got the Capricorns who manage, right? Who manage people, right? And maybe the Virgo energy is about organizing the management. So maybe, cleaning up stuff, like all that stuff. Okay? I'm just having my own. Okay? Here we go. Feeling capable is at the core of your happiness, which is sometimes why Capricorn can be focused so much on achievement and ambition. Sometimes Capricorn is called the sign of a manager, which is a reflection of Capricorn's desire and natural ability to well manage, to get the job done and take care of what needs to be taken care of. Capricorn tends to be pretty good at assessing reality and seeing what needs to be done to get from A to B. Managers need to be able to see the bigger picture and plan for the future, not just for today. Come on. Capricorn knows the true meaning of the word conservative. It's not about politics, but rather means not expending more than is needed because there's a long way to go. All right, Capricorn, I'm just giving you a synopsis. All right, and again, we're reading from Astrology of the Moon. All right, just having this conversation in our Metaphysical Bible study because this is about you becoming your best self, and we're using astrology. This is not witchcraft. This is not to some type of negative force. This is about using it as a tool for self-actualization. Okay? So here we go. That was Capricorn. Now let's get into Aquarius. Where are my Aquarianians? Do we say it like that? Or Aquariusians? I'm making a fool of myself. All right. Aquarians. Woo! Listen, although my moon is not Aquarius, I can still, this energy of this as a sun sign is so true. Your heart longs for freedom to be yourself. Oh my. Sounds simple enough since you've already got the body and mind for it. It's not a state of being, however, but a constant process of discovery. Of course, we all change over the years, and that's a process of discovery in itself. But subconsciously, you are always in a process of shifting through the examples you've shown regarding the normal response or behavior and your natural response or behavior. It's not about being different or going against the grain, but about being an individual. Because we're specifically talking about the moon, especially makes you happy to be free to feel however it is you feel and respond naturally. You may be the guy who laughs at the parts in a movie that makes others cry because you see the absurdity of it all, Or maybe you're the girl that doesn't gush about babies. To be your true emotional self means never having to pretend you feel something you don't. Ooh. Or pretend not to feel something that you do. When we think of our hearts, our moons, we think of the emotional part of ourselves. So many people mistakenly think that Aquarius is not very feely, but everyone has an astrological moon, and everyone has emotions, even Aquarius. Listen, so if you know an Aquarius and you feel like they're not emoting, trust you me, they are feeling it. All the air signs, including Aquarius, have an innate aptitude for communicating or reasoning through their emotional responses, reasoning something out. So sometimes it can seem that you are thinking your emotions, come on, instead of feeling them. It may be that people expect you to have emotional reactions that you simply don't. And it confuses them into thinking you don't feel anything at all. Oh my, but it's not the truth. The way you process your emotions, Aquarius, is just different, and you are entitled to how you feel, even if it doesn't align with what everybody think is normal. All right, let's get into the Pisces, and then we'll circle. Well, we'll start the other sections tomorrow. I want to give you guys your. I want to give you guys the affirmations that we just go back through the affirmations for our week in regards to the moon. All right, Pisces moon. You are learning to trust in the universe. You don't have to control, you don't have to have control over everything to have faith that things are happening as they should. Your sense of faith in the world, even though sometimes it falters, it what allows you to keep an open heart and open heartedness in what nurtures you the most. Unkindness can hurt you greatly. Listen, whether it's physical or mental cruelty or just a sharp edge of cynicism. Depending on other factors in your natal chart, you may identify with the philosophy of the pacifists, feeling that peace is the only thing that can beget peace, because you know that we're all more connected than we may like to think we are. You see how this just played out in our interactions today, because my Pisces moon was in full effect. It really was. It really was. You know, because there's some things I could have said, and I thank you for the other people that were saying. Well, Craig is hush, Craig, hush, Craig. I just thank you because my Pisces moon was in full effect in our example today. Listen, oh my goodness, and it beat me feeling some type of way, because I don't ever want to say something that's gonna hurt somebody else, because I be feeling some type of way. So in my wording, in our interactions today, I was really being cautious of what was being said, all at the same time having the awareness, having this awareness that, you know, if I wasn't healed, my mouth could have really got me in trouble today. Oh, but thank God for deliverance and self-awareness. Come on. Come on. Somebody shout me today. Shout me. Put me in A flat. Because if it had not been for self-awareness on my side, tell me where would I be? Because to know thyself is to be true to thyself. Oh, but we thank God for his creative work operating through us. You hear me? Thank you for your hearts. Is there a heart? Thank you. Is there a heart in the house? And this is why. Listen, you got this calm the ego, which is absolutely, absolutely. Listen, Shannon, and will testify, Shannon. Testify. Come on. Can we do Cancer Moon tomorrow? We're gonna go back through the houses. We're gonna tomorrow. We will look at today. We just we've been going through the overview of the moon as just the overall depiction. Tomorrow we're gonna circle back through the houses, and we're going to talk about. We're gonna talk about your living conditions. We'll do living conditions through the houses, like your home environment. So we'll go back through the houses tomorrow. Listen, but Shannon, you done said a whole word and dropped the mic. For those that are watching elsewhere, Shannon says no because some people on this app will really bring you back to the unhealed version of you and cuss them out. And listen, the unhealed version of me probably would have felt stuck. Like, what do I say? What do I do? I don't want to get into no argument. But it would to me, knowing who I am now and knowing my call, and knowing this space of consciousness, there's a different energy that I have to for me and my personality type that I have to continuously put more energy into for the sake of y'all not seeing Craig just come out and just say, nigga, what? Oh my goodness, Craig. Listen. Craig got a mouth on him. When Craig go into that dark moon, Craig be going in and just be prophesying and be reading you your rights. Like, wait, I didn't tell him that. You didn't have to, because Craig is just sitting on the sideline, just reading. Craig be sitting like, I see you, but Titus got it today. Listen, the Libra moon, listen, Shannon, it's the balance because it's the relationship. You see what I'm saying? Might be C and C. Come on, riding dirty together. Craig be on the sideline like, I see you, but Titus won't let me out today. So Titus gonna Titus, but if you keep on stepping to Titus too wrong, I got you. And it takes that balance. So that Libra moon is probably saying balance. So just like for me being a Pisces moon, it speaks to working more in smaller groups. But because of my Aquarius sun being out, it's like the call to be out, and it's in my 10th house, which speaks to career and openness, right? But because of my Pisces moon, I have to meditate and I have to pray. So even in the breaks, when I'm breaking between 6:30 and 5:30, it's my time to go out and walk, and then that's when I'll do what else, whatever I say. Y'all know what I be saying. Right now I can't think. But that's a time where I'm recharged, right? But if I didn't know that about me, I would be moving through life like, why am I irritable? And it really could be, and it could be, most of the time it is, I have not nurtured that part of self that needs self-care, right? So the worship, or going to sit by the river, or going to do these things, is what fuels the space to where I can come and do these lives, right? But if I didn't know this aspect about me, Craig would probably be out pressing go live from jump. You hear me? I'm just saying. Okay, fam. So let's get these affirmations to you, and I'm also going to give you an activity. If you want it, I'll give you the activity to assist and support you. Craig wishes he could. He do. He do. Craig be wishing like, you should have said this. Why you didn't say this? And I can see Craig, if he will only say this, he would shut them up. Oh my goodness. Shut him up, Titus. Shut him up. Please say this. Say this. Come on. Tell him what you see. Tell him what you see. Go off. Hurt their feelings. my goodness. Listen, thank God for laughter. Thank God for laughter. Whew. Okay. Av- uh, Sorry, I wrote a lot of notes yesterday. So we're going through. So we do know that Moon is in Cancer for today and tomorrow. Thank you for the rose, fam. Thank you for the gifts. Oh, you relate to it? That's what's up, Beth. I'm glad to be of service. I've been asking God, how do I be in service? And if it's not been an ask, it's been more so. I, I feel like, does God talk to you like this sometimes? Like, nigga, do what I told you to do. And for those that I know we buried the word, but that's the word that just came in my hearing. Like, if you don't do what I told you to do, and maybe that's maybe there's one of my spirit guys like like I told you to do this, and yes, it's scary. Yes, it might be new information. Share what you know. You want millions? What? You ain't doing what I told you to do. You want to be an entrepreneur? What? You tired of your job? What? But you ain't do like stop talking to me. Stop asking me how to get there, and you ain't doing. Do y'all like? Do you listen? Listen. Do you have those conversations? I'm just saying. Listen, and then he'll show you. Yes, you're a Sagittarius moon and a Gemini rising. Yes. Listen, and I'm finding this. I really am trying to find this. Where did I do it? Okay, affirmation. I did. Oh, I know where it is. Okay, let's see. Ah, that's what it's on my other phone. So that's what I'm. But I had this conversation yesterday with myself because I was irritated with these group of people. We're building a brand, and I'm like, they are they are missing dates. They're not doing what they're supposed to do. And Spirit showed me like that's you. I said, get out my face. Cause here I am irritated. I'm working with a group of people. We're working on a brand. They missing dates. They not the leader of the group is not following through. And Spirit just simply said, "That's you." And I was like, "Get out my face. I don't want to hear that." And I could no longer be upset because I said, I just had to take it. I just had to take it because it was like, this is, this is, this is okay. 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 I hear you. I hear you. I hear you. You're telling me that I am not doing everything you told me to do. Okay. Okay. Okay, Spirit. I see you. I see you. All right, fam. I did a lot of notes yesterday, so forgive me. I'm looking for it. So I would encourage you. Oh, that's what's up. I would encourage you start using everything as a mirror, fam. Everything. When you use everything as a mirror, it just makes sense. Okay. Sorry, I went. I did a lot of notes yesterday. What is your question? I am Coach KB. What is your question? Where are we starting where? I'm telling you, when I say I be I've been doing a lot of notes lately because I've been doing a lot of thinking and writing and brainstorming. Okay, let's do it this way. I was going to ask where we're in the book and with the moon. Did I miss anything? Wow. We went through Libra through the Pisces moon, just giving an overall synopsis of the signs. And then tomorrow we'll go into living conditions, like what that should look like. What not should, because it. Okay, here we go. We'll do a new affirmation today. Let's see. You take it seriously? Pisces moon. Woo! Okay, Pisces moon. You got a Pisces moon for real. For real. So do I. So do I. So your Pisces moon, in a nutshell, you're called to help people. How that goes about how and you're called to trust in to learn your intuition and trust your intuition. Okay. So with the feeling of everything, it takes you. Your Pisces moon also speaks to you have to have a spiritual practice. There's no getting around it. As a Pisces moon, you need a spiritual practice. However you define God, whatever that is what grounds you. Having the sense and knowing that there is something higher than yourself is what keeps you grounded. And it has to be a daily thing. And you have to have time for yourself. So if people say you nap too often, Craig almost said something. Craig, get off my shoulder. I'm gonna say how Titus would say it, okay? Funny Uncle Cat Kites what people think. Funny Uncle Cat Kites what people think. Okay? And have your spiritual practice. Have you define God, Buddha, whatever that energy is to you. Get into your practice. Make it a daily thing. Okay? And that is the offering. Okay? All right. So with Cancer being in moon for the next 2 days, here it is, fam. So the affirmation for the Aries in the room. Here we go, Aries. I embrace vulnerability as a source of strength, allowing myself to feel deeply. Come on, Aries. I embrace vulnerability as a source of strength, allowing myself to feel deeply. Leo. Leo, I honor my emotions, knowing that they guide me toward my true passion. For the Leo moon. Sagittarius, I find comfort in connection. I find comfort in connection, allow myself to receive love and care. For the Sagittarius, I find comfort in connection, allow myself to receive love and care. For the Earth signs, Taurus, I trust in the stability of my emotions and nurture myself with compassion. I trust in the stability of my emotions and nurture myself with compassion. Virgo, I allow my feelings to flow freely, trusting that clarity will follow. Virgo, I allow my feelings to flow freely, trusting that clarity will follow. Capricorn, I give myself permission to rest and reflect, knowing it's essential for growth. Capricorn, I give myself permission to rest and reflect, knowing it's essential for growth. Gemini, I listen to my heart and trust the wisdom of my emotions. Gemini, I listen to my heart and trust the wisdom of my emotions. For the Libra, I find balance in my emotional world, allowing peace and harmony within. I find balance in my emotional world, allowing peace and harmony within. For the Aquarius, I allow myself to connect emotionally with others, trusting in the strength of vulnerability. Aquarius, I allow myself to connect emotionally with others, trusting in the strength of vulnerability. Cancer, I honor my emotional sensitivity and trust in the healing power of self-love. For the Cancer, the water signs, I honor my emotional sensitivity and trust in the healing power of self-love. Scorpio, I release the need for control, embracing the flow of my deep emotions. Scorpio, I release the need for control, embracing the flow of my deep emotions. And then for the Pisces, I trust my intuition and emotions as powerful guides on my journey. I trust my intuition and emotions as powerful guides on my journey. Okay? We good, fam? So that's what we got today. Thank y'all for letting me in your energy. If you feel called to, you can send a donation to $titusglenn. If you need unpacking what you're feeling and sensing in your body, I do have information in my bio. If you need credentials, I'm getting my master's. Why am I saying that? Craig, you being petty. My master's currently is loading as a licensed professional counselor, spiritual life coach, because I am getting my I'm a minister of spiritual consciousness. That is the truth. On my way to be ordained as a spiritual mental consciousness. So this is the space. This is the person that you're working with. I'm in school at Inner Visions, one of the best schools on this side of heaven, under the leadership of the Reverend Dr. Iyanla Van Zant. So what you are experiencing is the work that has been in the making for the last 2 years, sitting under the tutelage of one of the greatest spiritual leaders of our time. Okay, so this is not somebody that just say, I'm finna be a life coach. No, this not that. This not that. This is somebody that's doing the work, somebody that is held accountable, because I have people, whether they say it or not, that are watching me, and I'm accountable to the way that I move. Okay, so that was for the negative. Craig, that was a hint of Craig for the negative Nancy's that wanted to come in the room earlier. Okay, so now that you have to defend, okay, cut it off, Craig. You see how slippery the Craig can be. Craig be trying to come in and out, bobbing and weaving. Come on, Shannon, I love that. Which is why I went Reiki. I got my Reiki Cert 1. And it's interesting. It's interesting because when you start doing this work, you realize I have a Craig. She need a job. Listen, Craig be bobbing and weaving. Listen, because your ego be like, tell him, Titus. And it's like, you are who you are. Your work will speak for itself. And some people just want attention. Right? But the work that I'm doing, I've fallen in love with it because it's the science of it all. It's more direct. It's more direct to assist people versus shooting in the dark. So like the Pisces moon scenario, if I first of all, if I didn't have a Pisces moon, if I didn't know what I was dealing with, then I wouldn't be able to verify that this is true. This is true, right? And as my Pisces moon, there's a calling, there's a spiritual calling that I can't run away from. And if even if I wanted to, it would be my Holy Ghost with a Craig energy saying, "Nigga, I do what I told you to do." You see, do what I told you to do. What I told you to do. No, you won't rest. You will not rest. You will not rest. This is what I said to you. I don't care. I don't care if things are falling apart. No, you gonna lean in. You gonna lean in. No, you gonna lean in. And not just as a spiritual life coach. This is for those that are becoming self-aware. You're when you hit that spiritual awakening, your moon will assist and support you in leaning in. So you don't feel like you going crazy. You don't feel like you're off. No, this is the proof that I need. Right? Okay? I know I'm talking a lot, but I feel like this is where my heart is found. To really assist and support people on their journey. I am yes. Go ahead and book a call. Book a call. My weekend is open. Yes, my weekend is open. So yes. Oh, that's what's up. But when you have the confirmation of how it's working for you, then I'm only speaking on my experience. And I know that I've always knew that there was a calling on my life. And I always knew that I was anointed. This is no arrogance. This is just me having a realization, right? But then when life happened and when the divorce happened and when it's like, who am I? It left me wandering in the dark. And these are the tools that have helped me. And I would say these are God's tools that have been given to me. Okay? And we talked about this. I'm going to say this one thing, and I'm going to hop out because I don't want to bore y'all. But this conversation yesterday had me lit. Because we were talking about divination, and we were talking about yesterday how the church has said that the things of tarot and the things of astrology and numerology is divination. And you know what? They're right. But so is having a little talk with Jesus. When you tell Jesus all about your troubles, you're divining. Okay. Now I'm being petty. Craig, I got to get off this live because I feel a pettiness rising up. I feel a pettiness rising up. And but divination is when you work with the supernatural. When you work with the supernatural. Yes, calm down, Craig. Titus got this. When you work with the supernatural, you are divining. You're in divination. Okay? Now how you do that is up to you, right? Now the harm becomes when you use that supernatural ability to try to bring harm to other people. Ooh. Come on, Book of Samuel. I had to go and look at Joseph, and only to realize that Joseph, or remember that Joseph has a cup of divination. That Joseph had a cup of divination. Where Saul went to a diviner and he was led astray. But when you look about Saul, though, when you talk about Saul was doing it for a gain, for him in a negative way. You talk about King Saul, right? I want to read this. Listen. I got about 15 minutes. This is great conversation. Because when you start looking at, listen, let's what story of Saul. We can't read the whole story. We need story of King Saul, right? And sorcery. Let's do that. Ooh, can we? Can you? We got a little time to explore this because I think this is when the drug. Okay, so when the he gave the cup of divination to his brothers, and when you read the story, he put it in Reuben's bag. When he put the cup of divination in his brother's bag, and then he sent his worker to basically go tell them to come back, and basically only to say, "Hey, well, how dare you steal from me? Don't you know that I could?" It's there, but he had a cup of divination, and they would try to argue. People argue and say, "Hey, he wouldn't need to use the cup of divination because he already knew that it was his brothers." He wasn't using a cup of divination in this space, but the fact that he had a cup of divination speaks to who he was in his leadership. In his leadership, because Joseph had been assigned to help them. He didn't drink from it in the story, but the fact that he had the cup of divination in the first place is something to consider. You don't have to take my word for it. But the fact that he had it on his being, when you are leading a whole kingdom, this is my thinking, and this don't have to be nobody else's thinking. When you're leading from a whole kingdom, there's certain things that you have to be skilled at or be aware of. And to me, this story speaks to that, because the fact that he had it at all is something to really think about. First Samuel 28. But then when you even talk about the divination using it as a tool to tap into the divine, and I talked about how the story of Moses giving to Aaron like two stones to ask God like yay or nay. That's divination. So just something to consider when we're looking at these things that we were told were the devil. And then you can even break down where did the devil come from. That's a whole okay. Let's not get into the devil. Okay, let's not get into that because that's a whole different conversation. King Saul. We're going to First Samuel 28. What part? What are we saying again? Oh my goodness. I can't say certain things because Craig gonna really come to battle, because some of this stuff is Craig jam. The fear that we've been rocking in. But I'm just saying, fam. Wait. I'm looking for this story, fam. Oh, led to believe evil. Listen, we were led to believe that a lot of things were evil. We made us not even touch it or even investigate. And then we have people that used it, had a negative experience, and now teach against it. And what it really alludes to is that it didn't work for you. And just because it didn't work for you doesn't mean it won't work for somebody else. Okay, so here we go. Now, Samuel was dead. This is we're reading First Samuel 28, verse 7. I'm gonna back up just a little bit because I just want to get the whole thing, and I'll probably have to go back and read the story, read the chapter before, so I can be really think about, connect with everything that's going on. Well, user 818, thank you for sharing. All right, so when we go, Genesis, no, Samuel, First Samuel 28. In those days, when the Philistines gathered their forces to fight against Israel, Achish said to David, "You must understand that you and your men will accompany me in the army." David said, "Then you will see for yourself what your servant can do." Achish replied, "Very well, I will make you my bodyguard for life." And then we get to verse 3. Now Samuel was dead, and all Israel had mourned for him and buried him in his own town of Ramah. Saul had expelled the mediums and spirits from the land. Interesting. Saul had expelled the mediums and spirits from the land. The Philistines assembled and came and set up camp at Shunem, and while Saul gathered all Israel and set up camp at Gilboa. When Saul saw the Philistines' army, he was afraid. Terror filled his heart. He inquired of the Lord, but the Lord did not answer him by dreams or Urim or prophets. Saul said to his attendants, "Find me a woman who is a medium, so I may go and inquire of her." "There is one in Endor," they said. So Saul disguised himself and putting on other clothes. And at night he and two men went to the woman. "Consult a spirit for me," he said, "and bring up for me the one I name." But the woman said to him, "Surely I know what Saul has done. He has cut off the mediums and spirits from the land. Why have you set a trap for my life to bring about my death?" Whew, listen. Saul swore to her by the Lord, "As surely as the Lord lives, you will not be punished for this." Listen! You know what this speaks to? You know what this speaks to? This speaks to the people that be talking against astrology, but still use it. Oh my. Oh my. Oh my. They be talking against certain things, but then they go and use it for their own personal gain. Because this alludes to Saul seeking something out for his personal gain. Okay. If you want to really tear it apart, we are at Samuel, First Samuel, and it's First Samuel, and we are at the verse 9. So Saul disguised himself, putting on other clothes, and at night he and two men went to the woman. "Consult a spirit for me," he said, "and bring up for me the one I name." And I want to go back and see if there's a story as to why Saul even expelled them. I wonder if there's information about that. All right, but the woman said to him, "Surely you know what Saul has done. He has cut off the mediums and spirits from the land. Why have you set a trap for my life to bring about my death?" Saul swore to her by the Lord, "As surely as the Lord lives, you will not be punished for this." And got afraid. But here's the thing. He asked, here's another line, okay? Because he's asking her to use her gift and then reassuring her that it's going to be okay. Make it make sense. But I've given the impression that no one else is supposed to do this. Oh my, come on. I feel like I'm having a little church all by myself. Whew. Woo. Listen, I've expelled you, but then I'm now coming to you. Listen, he sent out the decree to make it look at, don't do this. But then now I'm doing it and then asking you to do it only to assure you that you're not going to be in trouble. Woo! Oh my. Oh my. Oh my. Okay, let's continue. It almost sounds hypocritical. Listen. It is absolutely hypocritical. But that be the thing. That be the thing. He was the authority figure and she did it. Absolutely. OMG. The conversation, y'all. A lot to unpack. A lot to unpack because this is why I say I would want to go back to see where was Saul was in his state to even um uh decree against the spiritualists. I'm just okay. I'm starting to. I'm gonna have to unpack this later. Sorry. Okay. Here we go. Saul swore to her by the Lord, as surely as the Lord lives, you will not be punished for this. This is why we have to read the whole story to see where did it come from. Because when we back up to, it says Saul had expelled. That's in verse 3. He expelled, but this is why we have to go back and read the whole story. When the woman saw Samuel, wait, hold on. Sorry. So Samuel disguised himself, putting on her clothes. Sorry, where did I? We are 10. We're at 10. Saul swore to her by the Lord, as surely as the Lord lives, you will not be punished for this. Then the woman asked, whom shall I bring up for you? Bring up Samuel, he said. Bring up Samuel, he said. When the woman saw Samuel, she cried out at the top of her voice and said to Saul, why have you deceived me? You are Saul. The king said to her, don't be afraid. What do you see? The woman said, I see a ghostly figure coming out of the earth. What does he look like? He asked. An old man wearing a robe is coming up, she said. Then Saul knew it was Samuel, and he bowed down and prostrated himself with his face to the ground. Samuel said to Saul, why have you disturbed me by bringing me up? I am in distress. So he's doing it for personal gain, to say the least. So she didn't know it was Saul until she conjured this spirit. He was in disguise, yes. Samuel said, why do you consult me now that the Lord has departed from you and become your enemy? Come on. So Samuel is seeking this woman, but his spirit is not right. So much to unpack here. Why do you consult me now that the Lord has departed from you and become your enemy? And here's the thing. because my mind is going metaphysically, because when we went metaphysically, when I look at Lord now, I don't look at it as God. I look at it as law, principle. Woo! Which would be another, that would be another Holy Ghost fit. Because if you look at Lord there, your principles, or the principles that you should be abiding in, you're not abiding in them. And now in that space, the principles that you want to work for you are not working for you because you are not applied them accurately. So now you're looking for another thing to assist you because you're not actually living according to how you should be living. A whole another place. Ooh. So these are things that I consider. He panicked. He panicked. The Lord has done what he predicted through me. The Lord has torn the kingdom out of your hands and given it to one of your neighbors, to David, because you did not obey the Lord or carry out his fierce wrath against the Amalekites. The Lord has done this to you today. And I want to even know what is metaphysically, what does Amalekites even mean? Hey, Kelvin. What does Amalekites even mean? I'm sorry, y'all done got um I'm going to Unity truthunity.net to look up what Amalekites means. Sorry, y'all. Metaphysically. Amalekites. Let's look at it. Woo. All right, so this is what. So I'm sorry, I'm reading. Okay, so Amalekites metaphysically belonging to Amalek, descendants of Amalek, grandson of Esau. They are usually called Amalek. Meta, the basis desire of the individual. To those in spiritual understanding, it is clear that the valley represents that great realm of mind called the subconscious. The Amalekites symbolizes the animal forces, appetites, and passions. They are warlike and are destructive in their nature. They must be cleansed completely out of consciousness by denial. Oh my. This is really interesting because when I got the basic desires of the individual, I feel like because you did not get you, it's almost alluding to, because when you get into that place where you don't kill that primitive nature of who you are, that animalistic, that is self-gaining, because you didn't do this, Saul. I'm just saying, this is what. Listen, this opinion has many forms. The most stubborn is that which absolutely refuses to obey. Ooh, and if I listen, okay, so I'm sorry, I'm getting caught up. Disobedience has many forms. The most stubborn is that which absolutely refuses to obey. It stands up for its rights. It tells us that certain things are good for us, that the race has always indulged in them, and that such indulgence is necessary. Such ideas as these are the Amalekites down in the valley. They become fixed in consciousness and refuse to abdicate. They are not receptive to the illumination of spirit. Woo! All right, I'm going to get out of that because that's a whole unpacking. So metaphysically, if we took this, Saul, because you refuse to illuminate and be enlightened, I turned you over. Woo! Truth and unity. Because you refuse to be enlightened and your spirit, I've turned you over. Whew. Stubborn. Listen, and this takes on to me another thought of the reprobated mind is not your sin, but your refusal to grow. Oh my! Oh my God! Okay. Ooh, jeez. Your reprobated mind has nothing to do with your sin. Has everything to your refusal to be enlightened and your spirit going stretching. Oh, not this moral thing where you're doing right and wrong. This nature of sin to where you're not hearing and tapping into your intuition, and there's a fight. There's a fight. So instead of being yourself, you you curve back into the idea of what people want you to be. This is your reprobated mind. Whew. The Lord will deliver both Israel and you in the hands of the Philistines, and tomorrow you and your sons will be with me. The Lord will also give the army of Israel into the hands of the Philistines. All right, fam. Oh my. Okay, so this is just when I get into this stuff, for me, I have had to break it apart in a way that I can keep the Bible. Because if I keep the Bible in the dogmatic approach, it alludes to don't do this, don't do this, don't do this. Saul, you shouldn't be talking to other people because you shouldn't be talking to the dead because this is the scripture you use. Saul talked to this witch, but then he blessed. He nothing happened to her. So what about that part? And then if we're not talking to the dead, how do we account for Jesus raising Lazarus from the dead? And how do we talk to us speaking to Jesus who is spirit, but he is okay. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. All right. Am I saying make it make sense? So um I know, God. I'm trying to authenticate. You see how I done got excited? You see how I done got excited? Because this stuff legit just it frees me. And I've seen some people who have talked to somebody's I saw okay, let me clear it up. I saw somebody talk to somebody's grandmother. And I was like, wait, this is really happening. This is really happening. And my ego would have been tripping if I had not known I was in a safe environment. And in that, I learned that this is legit stuff when you apply it accurately. When you apply it to encourage and inspire and heal somebody else. But when you don't do it in that way, it can bring about harm. It can bring about harm also if the person is indulging in it in a way that is addictive. And when you, especially for those that are consulting mediums, and when you consult the medium, you continue to consult them without moving on and progressing. And in that space, if it's becoming addictive, it's now becoming unhealthy. Absolutely. The stagnancy, because it's one thing to get clarity so that you can heal. It's another thing for you to find a clutch to hold on to that individual. Oh my. And what people are doing in this space is healing work so that people can advance to be their best selves. Me, I don't have that gift. I have not I don't think I have that gift. Can you are you asking that question? Can you talk with your answer? If you have that gift, listen, I don't have it. I would say this is what I would say, Kelvin. You're asking. I would say if you have people talking to you by way of ancestors, right? And they're giving you information on how to be your best self, then I would say yes. But that's just mine. I feel like the Holy Ghost, your higher self, your spirit guides, however you define that to you, they're giving you information for you to be your best self. Anything in that realm to where you're hurting or harming people, I would ask you to, my offering is to bring it into question. What is this here? What is going on? That's what's up. I'm enjoying the conversation too. Because I will say there are energies out there. I will say that. But then I also have to be reminded that all things are working for our greatest good. And if this is happening in my space, if I'm being intrigued by a negative energy, then what am I learning? What is trying to come through? What is happening that I need to gain insight from or to help somebody? Because maybe somebody is visiting you to share something with somebody else so that they can um, feel loved or um, be healed. I'll never forget. I had a dream about my stepdad, and I felt nervous to share with my sister. And I ended up sharing, and at the end of the day, she's like, thank you for sharing." Because some people need that space to even complete their grieving, and if not complete, for their grieving to evolve. Tabitha Brown, she don't talk about talking to spirits, but she does talk about how she asked her mother to send her a sign, and she finds dimes. If that don't say nothing, she finds dimes when like big things happen, and her mother said that she would leave a dime. So I don't think this is coincidence. I think this is an opportunity for us to dismantle the fear behind these practices, because truth be told, our lineages of colored people did not start in America. Oh, come on. You, there was a Holy Ghost. There was a Holy Ghost tongue there. Oh my. Our beings, our ancestry did not start here in America. And if we really were to open ourselves and investigate, part of our lineage could be tracked to practices that we probably didn't have a clue about and could have been shunned from doing so because of who was taking dominion over our very being. Whew. Oh my. I might need to get a t-shirt. Oh my. And so we've been taught fear. We've been taught fear. Let me say that again. We've been taught fear when the Bible said there is nothing to fear. There is nothing to fear. And I'm just a believer that you let people. Fear is the opposite of love, absolutely. Let people figure out what they need to figure out. My mama said it this way when I was telling her about my spirituality and telling her about my sexuality. This was her resolution. One thing I know, you'll always come back to God. I said, okay, we'll rock with that. And what's meant for you, you're going to always come back to where you're supposed to be. Right? And for me, in this conversation that I was having, I understood, this is idea and thinking that, my mom might think I might come back to this space of Christianity. But one thing I know for sure is that I have come back to God. But the way God looks is so different to me now. Oh my. I'm going to start speaking in tongues and having a whole fit. Because I know what it's like to be so confused about God that you want to give up altogether. But in this awareness, in this oneness, in this evolution of humanity, there's something bigger that's being displayed. All right, fam, I've enjoyed myself today. I have thoroughly enjoyed myself today. I'm ready to hop out. If this inspired you, listen, going down memory lane. If it inspired you, I welcome donations, $Titusglenn. The way you can contribute to this channel and show your appreciation for the conversation. Information is in my bio. If you ever need one-on-one conversation around your own healing journey, that you can book a call with me. I have a 15-minute discovery call, and I also have longer conversations that we can have to assist and support you in your self-discovery, self-awareness, and healing. All right, fam. So we'll hop back in later. Have the most amazing day, and we'll talk to you guys soon.